It's been a while since we've seen the targets on the indoor range, and most of them are the same, a slight tweak here and there perhaps. But I've had a bit of a change of late, in fact a couple of changes. There's the main one, but I'll show you the others as well. We have an abundance of tin cans, of course, like most folks. We shoot up here mostly 6 yards. If I'm filming something that's more about showing, say, a pistol off rather than shooting it, or maybe only shooting it a bit, it's only about 4 yards. The most we can shoot is 9.5 metres. Now that's no great distance really for most of the air rifles and at least some of the pistols, even with me at the trigger. We've recently added a load of beer bottle tops. We've had this for some time, which is good but could be better. The spinny target where you knock them over, that's the wrong way round, but you get the idea. The spinny target there, you knock them over and it spins, but really there's not that much weight in these and there's too many of them, so the spin's quite slow and even. Really, probably what you've seen on videos, Forgotten Weapons do them, for example. The spinner targets, the Texas Star with only 5 on, of course those plates are for centerfire normally, pistol 9mm, so they are a lot heavier, but this could do with being a bit heavier. But I have thought about putting a bit of plumber's solder wrapped round the arms a bit just to make it spin a little bit more readily, but not all of them. Of course we've got the biathlon target, quite easy to hit there, certainly with 177. Looking at these, that look like he's had a bit of a bash with a 2.2, and that one's not bad, but these three, especially this one, well, it hardly ever happens. The bell, of course, which is always satisfying, that's on the smallest hole. We've got this target board here, that's for putting up paper targets of A4 size really. We've got the Bisley target holder for proper size targets. Generally I use these, which are 10mm air pistol. More often than not when I'm trying to see what a rifle's doing, I use the other side, because I can just put one hole in and then work it out what the rifle or the pistol's doing from there. It's much easier to see that than that. The lighting up here is somewhat limited. We've got these two knockdown targets which have been up here since I first put all these up. They're still a bit stiff. They're quite difficult to see the kill zones, even though I keep repainting them when I'm using open sights. But it is quite satisfying when they do go down, which ain't that often. Near the bottom we've got the magnetic target box, which has seen quite a lot of use. It is very satisfying, whether it's air rifle or air pistol. But I've used it with 2.2. Not that many times, but there's the Webley Mark III, there's the Webley Venom Viper. Trying to think of anything else that's 2.2. There's only 2 or 3 in my collection, but being so close, it has meant that the targets have bent. Over time, the holder for the magnets has been damaged. There's a screw come out, no idea where that went, and it's all been put back together. Why use plastic to mount the magnets when they could so easily get hit? And there were some holes in it. I found some very rough, rusty pieces of Meccano angle girders, and I used that to reinforce it. But since I've used the 2.2 on it, and it didn't take long, it has bent the targets again. There isn't so much contact surface area with the magnets, so they tend not to stick down. But the rule with them anyway is as long as they move it counts, and it's the same with the biathlon target. Lastly, before we come on to the main edition, this plate, it's a base off a lamp stand. This side is stainless steel cover. It's got felt on the back where it would rest on the floor or a table perhaps when it was the lamp. And it's got to be steel. I'm not sure exactly what it is underneath, but I think it's steel. Well up to 2.2 and of course 177 as well. The latest edition is this kid's Gastonspiel. That's quite hard to say. Or Glockenspiel. See where I'm coming from? Glockenspiel. He died just after Christmas 2023, about a month ago. Gaston Glock. He was 94. I did a bit of reading about him. He's listed as the inventor of the Glock. I don't suppose he was the main engineer, but it was his idea. You can read all about it yourself for the Austrian government come armed forces. This is a CO2 version because we're not allowed such niceties as 9mm anymore here in England. Well, there's the Glock, and the consensus of opinion from my first video, it's the metal, you can see that's quite small, metal and plastic magazines for the pellets, but they're not very tight in the magazine, the pellets. I'm using Air Arms Field 452s, my go-to pellet. They run quite nicely in all but about 2 of me air pistols. Perhaps a bit heavy for this, but we're just having a play really. So we'll give it a go. We've got CO2 capsule in the carrier. Really that's most of the gun really. I'm only going to say this once and never again. Many comments on my original video about using WD-40 to clean the bore of what was then a brand new gun, and it come out you could have growed taters in it, in the rubbish that come out of it, black it was. Any seals that may be affected by using a petroleum based product are in this, not in that. This is the fun bit. We're first going to see what it's doing. I expected to shoot quite low to start with. We're shooting 6 yards. Can't have 2 cameras set up because the laptop, the backup laptop, won't hack doing 2 cameras on one edit. So we're just making do with what we got at the moment. Bit sluggish there, but we'll see where it goes. The CO2 capsule has been warming in my pocket for about 3 hours while I've been setting things up and doing other things. We'll just drop that a little bit. These are quite handy, these stands, but this, shall we call it a pistol one if you like, it is a bit light and there's a 6-volt battery taped inside it to give it a bit of weight so it's a bit more stable. Right, I really don't expect to hit much with this Glock anyway because the trigger's not brilliant. No doubt the first shot will be quite well, quite loud. It might be quite realistic in the condensation coming out because it's not the right time of year really for this. But here we go. Here we go. Blimey. That did jump a bit. I forgot, it's been that long since I've used this. It's quite a long trigger pull and you don't know where it's going to actually break. But that is, we'll have a look at the target a bit. I did jump a bit. That actually, I could work with that. I did pull it slightly left, but that's, I'm looking at it now. I'm aiming at the centre of the target, and we'll show you that in a bit. But that's just sort of about 11 o'clock really, just above the sight, front sight. So we'll try again. No doubt this one won't be quite in the same place because the CO2 capsule will already be cooling down. That is, I was being kind in the first video. I said the trigger was agricultural. It's pretty bad really. But that's alright actually, that one is, that's 6 o'clock, just above the foresight. So basically holds fractionally low at 6 yards and we should be alright, although the windage is probably going to be all over the place. We'll try again. Now that's a little bit low. That's about 7 o'clock. Well, looking at it, I suppose that's a inch and a quarter group, roughly, something like that. We'll try again. That's spreading now, spreading now. But wow, it's a bit of fun, isn't it? It's a shame the trigger's not even a little bit better. I mean the pull, pulling left actually all the time, pulling left now. But the there's no way you're going to have a negligent discharge without really pulling on this trigger. You're going to have to really pull on it. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more left of this lot. I suppose actually some of the shots have made a nice little impression of a cylinder on a revolver. Oh, that's awful. I think that was a bit me being a bit hasty. That should be 8. We'll just drop them up. Yep, that's 8. Not that that does anything, but you have to do it. So here we are. That is about 3/4 of an inch. That was the first shot. That was the second shot. Third, and then we started pulling left. That's the one I really didn't concentrate on so much, but yeah, it is a heavy pull. So I mean, if you could group them like that, that's like less than a beer bottle top, so that wouldn't be too bad. They are fun guns more than target guns, but there are some with much better triggers that cost a lot less. Do you like my holster? Read out of bog roll and electrician's tape and a little bit of a shoelace. We'll try and just hit the Gastonspiel target and see how we get from there. We'll start from left to right. Oh, I don't know. Well, that's one. Well, that's two. I can't make out the notes even though I've put the lettering on them. Keeping to the same one. It does seem to be pulling a little left. Right, we'll try and play 3 blind mice. Not all of it, just the first 3. Well, it seems as though I did get it right. Slow. Can't say for certain for the second note, because the paint's very good. It's standing up very well, so I can't see a mark on the second note. The last note was a bit high pitched, I thought. It is a toy, so it might have been perfectly in tune, of course, but I did shoot quite low, right at the bottom of the green bar. But guess what? I didn't press record, so we're going to try again. No, that seemed to jump a bit then, the one bar. I'll try again. So far left. That was the last note. Oh, it's pulling left. We've only got 2 left in this one now, so... Oh. Yeah, pulling it quite easy, I think that's it. I'll try again. It's all over the place. But it's quite fun. Oh well, we'll have to practice some more. We'll just have a general little plink. Let's just have a little bit of a plink. Well folks, that was a bit average. The Gastonspiel, the rubber mounts have come away from the mounts. They just, well, I say mount, like little frame. So they'll push in again, I think, but it's still intact. Who knows how long it will last. Bit of fun. The paint's lasted really good. I mean, this orange one here, which is Note F, that's had more hits than anything, and it's remarkably good paint, hardly touched, not bent at all, the metal, that's fine. Anyway, a bit of fun, quite average shooting, a little bit of a, shall we say, a little bit of a memorial to Gaston Glock. I mean, I did a little bit of research. There's no point going on, a lot of people have done it. You can find out yourself quite easily about how the Glock come about, and it, well, yes, revolutionised the semi-automatic hand pistol. Whilst I was doing this, I did a bit of research, and I looked for what it was worth on the BBC about his obituary. And they mentioned that it's a Glock, or several models of Glock, featured in several films. Yes, so have many other guns, I suppose. But they didn't, as usual, they were biased as usual. They didn't put in the fact that many people, many innocent people, have been saved, or shall we say, possibly less injured due to the Glock, and of course other pistols in the hands of professionals. And of course it's not all good, because there are some nutters out there in the world, and there always will be. But the BBC failed to mention the fact that many people have been saved by such Glocks and other firearms. So, you know, it's certainly not all bad, is it? But of course the BBC always err on the side of bad. But that's enough of that, because that gets into politics. That's it for now. I shall put it back in my bog roll holster. And we do have some more shooting stuff coming shortly. Bye for now.